So Wednesdays are a little bit more amped up physically than Mondays for Blissful Flow. Telling you that because if you're coming in a little drained or a little fatigued or feel any type of disruption with your breath through the practice, please just take a moment, take child's pose, take rest, and then join us back in. And I'm going to tell a little bit of a story to begin this practice today, and it's called Churning of the Ocean of Milk. And so this particular story actually came up for me in a Reiki session last weekend. Last weekend, I was giving Reiki to someone, and we started having a conversation when I was about at her feet. And we kept having this conversation, and then when I moved up her right leg and went to her right hand, I asked for something specific, and it didn't come to me. What came to me instead was a vision of this story. And I thought, well, it was interesting. I was trying to figure out, well, why did that story just come up? And I realized that the answer in the story was actually the answer to what we had been discussing at the feet, which was really cool. And I told her, I was like, I'm going to have to talk about that this week. So here's the story. The story goes that in ancient times, when the gods were here on earth and the demons were here on earth, they were warring a lot because they didn't get along. Right? They didn't get along, they wanted the same things, and they didn't go about it through the same means. And they discovered that there was this thing called Amrita, which is the nectar of immortality. And so the gods went to Vishnu, and they said, Vishnu, we've heard about this drink of immortality, and we want to have this drink. And we hear the demons are out searching for it. And Vishnu said, the only way any of you can get to this particular nectar is if you work together. You have to work together with your enemy. And then you're going to have to churn the ocean of milk for it to come out. So the gods were like, oh, man, we don't want to work with demons, but if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. So they went to the demons and they made this deal. Let's work together for this drink of immortality. They didn't trust each other, right? So they had to figure out, how are we going to churn the ocean of milk? We need to create a churner. So they had this idea, they would use this mountain and move this mountain over to the ocean, and they needed the base for the mountain to sit on something at the end of the ocean. And so Vishnu decided he was going to come into one of his avatars, which is Kamasana, the big sea tortoise. So he turns into this big sea tortoise. They put the mountain on top of its back. They're like, okay, now we've got the churn, now we need the churning rope. We're going to use this giant snake. And so they decided to tie the tail of the snake up to the mountain, and they were going to use the head of the snake to churn the ocean of milk. Well, the demons were smart enough to realize they didn't want the tail, because that would be the backside. And if it was coming from the ocean, they wanted to be at the head of the snake, because they wanted to be the first one to get the drink. So they were fighting, battling over who's going to be at the head, and the demons won out, and the gods were at the tail. When they start churning and churning and churning, the first thing that came up was poison. And Lord Shiva was there, and Shiva realized it was poison, and he drank it. And when he drank the poison, he was trying to save the world and save the poison from getting out. And what happened was his whole throat turned blue. There was one tiny little drop of poison that hit the earth. The story goes that anything like a scorpion, anything like a poisonous spider, any poisonous plants originated from that drop of poison. After the poison came out and they were saved from that, then a wishing tree came up out of the ocean. And then a beautiful gem and jewel, precious jewel, came up out of the ocean. And then Lakshmi, this beautiful goddess, the goddess of prosperity. And then Lakshmi's sister came up out of the ocean. And then this other beautiful woman called Mohini came out. And Mohini means the enchanter or the erotic one. And she's this beautiful goddess who's only half clothed. And so all the gods and demons were like mesmerized by this beautiful woman that just came out of the ocean. She is holding the divine nectar, the Amrita. And so they're all just like, la, 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 you know, at her. And she lines them all up. She's like, all right, boys. She lines them all up, and she's going to give them all a little bit of a drink. And she gave all the drink of immortality to the gods. And the demons didn't realize until the very end, when she was completely out, that they had been tricked. the gods actually had won out. So that is part of the story of the churning of the ocean of milk. If you ever study Ayurveda, which is the sister science of yoga, it's all about diet and lifestyle. It's about longevity of life. And so the origin of Ayurveda, which is the sister science of yoga, actually ties back into the story. And there's so much more involved in the story. But if it interests you, you should look it up because it's a lot of fun. We'll be bringing in some of these aspects into our practice today. All right, so let's go ahead and begin sitting upright. And we're going to start with seated mountain pose. So as you inhale, sweep the arms out and up overhead. Bring your palms together over your crown and close the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Zip up through your midriff and retain the breath briefly. And then exhale, let it go. We're going to do that twice more. Deep breath in. Draw the navel in and up, trapping that energy at the heart. Let it steep here and then exhale, release. One more deep breath in. Holding at the top. And then exhale, let it go. And next inhale, lift the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, let the arms gently come back down to your lap. Now notice after you lifted the arms up overhead and you returned the eyelids down to cradle the eyes, you may feel like you're sitting a little bit taller. And just channel the breath in and out through the nose for a moment. Allowing the lungs to expand as you breathe in. Knowing that they're contracting as the breath releases out. Look at your breath as being your Amrita today. It's the sweet nectar of immortality. Improve the quality of your breath. Keep taking deep sips of breath throughout your practice. So it's nourishing you from the inside out. Take about 3 more breaths here. You're ready, gently begin to lift and open up the eyes. We're going to come away from the seat. If you're sitting on a bolster or blanket, we're going to go ahead and come right on up to stand to get into the practice. As you stand at the top of the mat, really root your feet down and opening up in between the toes. When you lodge your feet down into the sticky mat, feel the legs line up and engage. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at your heart. Set your own personal intention for being here today, and feel free to dedicate your practice to another. Close your eyes and activate the Ujjayi Pranayama. That whispering, sounding breath. Once you crack the eyelids open, inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and as you exhale, fold forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen out halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, step it down the mat, lower down to Chaturanga, and we're coming all the way to the belly today. We're going to separate the hands to the wood floor. We're going to fly the elbows skyward and lean them back through the legs. As we inhale, we're coming up like a king cobra. And as we exhale, we're going to turn the face to the left, dripping the right ear about halfway down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, dropping the left ear about halfway down. Good. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, coming down to the brow. Hands slip up underneath the head of the shoulder bones. Curl your toes under. Pluck the knees off the floor. Push through your palms. Come up to table or plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, take a deep breath in. Lengthening through the vertebrae, flying the hips skyward. And every time you exhale, just settle in and center your awareness. Your primary focus, be your breath. Your primary focus is your breath. It will naturally help to align you physically. Also become a breathing meditation for the mind. Inhale, establish your feet at the top of the mat. Open up halfway when you do so. And then exhale, let go. Inhale, coming all the way up to the top. Exhale, Samasthiti. So we're adding in the cobra to represent that snake in the story. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive down, hinging from your hips. Inhale, radiate your heart forward. And as you exhale, step it down the mat and build some upper body strength as you lower with caution. Coming into a prone position, establishing your hands off the mat. Lengthening through the leg bones, pushing down through the top portions of the feet to engage the glutes. Inhale, coming up, Bhujangasana, rising up fearlessly and deliberately. Exhale, turn the face to the left. Right ear drops halfway to the floor. Inhale, coming up, firing up the muscles in your back body. Exhale, dripping the left ear halfway to the floor. Inhale, coming up through center. Beautiful. Exhale, coming back down to the brow. Hands up underneath the chest and shoulders. Curl the toes. If you want to build more strength, you can come up plank. If you need to pass through table, totally fine. Otherwise, go ahead and sail back downward facing dog. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, focus on the base or the foundation of the pose first. And then build up through the limbs and create the pinnacle of the pose. The pinnacle of the pose is the sits bones. Your seat is sailing up, but your head is bowing between the arms. On your next in-breath, let's come to Ardha Uttanasana at the top. Exhale, close into self. Inhale, root to rise up. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're doing one more A. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Once you lower, inhale, sprout up. And then exhale, step it back and lower it gently to the floor. Elbows squeeze to the side body. Once you lower, untuck the toes. Create those neck wings of that king cobra as you lift on the in breath. Exhale, turn the face to the left on the out breath. Inhale, rising. Exhale, turning the face to the right. Last one, inhale, lifting up. Good, exhale, coming down to the third eye. Inhale to table or plank, yogi's choice. And exhaling, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hone to your breath. Breathe with intention. Gaze back towards the feet or beyond.
Fixating your gaze on one place. For a focused eye is a focused mind. Next in breath, let's come to Ardha Uttanasana at the top. Lengthening through the vertebrae. And then exhale, drape down. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're going to be changing up our B's today, so we're not doing warrior with it. Inhale, come to Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Inhale, uplift halfway. Exhale to Chaturanga. You can bounce right back into that pose, or you can pass through plank. We are doing upward facing dog through these sun salves. So roll back into downward facing dog after that. Inhale, the right foot's gonna step all the way up between the hands. We're gonna lower the back knee, shin, and foot to the floor. As we inhale, we're sweeping the arms up to Anjaneyasana. And as we exhale, we sink the hips and then wrap the arms. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, we're sweeping it down as if we're helping to churn the ocean of milk. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands plant this time. Curl the back toes. Step it into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left foot steps forward and up between the hands. Back knee, shin sinks down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, half lunge. Exhale, take it down. Twice more. Good, hands plant, curl the back toes, next vinyasa. With your pace, with your personal breath. Now pausing and breathing here, being inverted, seeing things in a new way. It's one way we can broaden our mind. Inhale, feet land at the top of the mat, however you want to arrive is fine. Exhale, let go. The crown of the head should be facing the floor. Inhale to Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're changing it up again. Inhale to chair. Exhale, forward fold. In and halfway up. Out to Chaturanga. You can pass through plank. Peering through up dog and down dog. Right foot gets established at the front of the mat. We're staying on the ball of the back foot. We're gonna float the hands up. And then we're gonna do something different with the arms, okay? So what it looks like is the left arm comes across the belly and the right arm flares back behind us. And then we turn to the left. Go slow with this, it does require balance. Inhale, sweep to the right. Exhale to the left. Last one. Good, lower the palms. Step into plank. Exhale, hover to Chaturanga. And then inhale, bloom to upward facing dog. Exhale, rock and roll back to downward facing dog. The left foot steps through. Hands float up. And we're going to turn here. Right arm across the belly. Left arm sways behind the back. Take your time. We're getting more twist in today, since we're talking about the churning of the ocean of milk. All right, come down with your palms. Last vinyasa for this flow. Holding and breathing in downward facing dog. Try not to bow the back. You're suctioning in through your belly, through your low ribs, and through the underside of the arms. Inhale, feet land at the top of the mat. Open up halfway. Exhale, drop in. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more, sun's out. Inhale to chair. Exhale, fold straight down. Inhale, little pick me up. Exhale, chaturanga. Wait for your inhale to lift. Wait for the exhale to carry you back. All right, from here, right foot's gonna step forward. We're staying with crescent lunge, but this time the arms lift overhead. Pause here. And then we're gonna twist to the right. We're gonna lower the left hand to the floor. And we're gonna rotate to the outer edges of each foot. Rotate to the outer edge of your back foot, the outer edge of the front foot. Soma lunge. Good, exhale, unwind, turn your feet forward, right foot plank. Continue through the vinyasa unless you need child's pose as a break. Otherwise, from down dog, left foot lands at the front. Arms reach up overhead. Pausing here to find your stability. And then exhale, twist to the left. We're gonna lower the right hand. And we're gonna spin to the outer edges of the feet. Soma lunge. Return to face the front with the toes. Left hand lowers. Good, last vinyasa. Usually in those B salves, we do the warrior one. So we got a little extra movement in today. Inhale, feet to the top of the mat. And exhale, bow out. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're going to be stepping to the right. Those of you on the far side, if you want to turn to face me, that's okay. You just guys won't be hearing it. So just focus on right and left. And then if you mess it up, just make sure you hit the other side. It's no problem. Right foot's going to turn out 90 degrees. Float your arms up shoulder height. Press into your hips. And come down over the right leg to Trikonasana, your triangle pose. We're revolving open through the belly and chest. Staying grounded in our feet, present with our breath. Inhale, come up. Right foot turns in, left foot rotates out. Good, press back into that right hip and lower the left hand down to the shin. or foot or block. Stack the left arm and shoulder over the left leg. Bring the pose to life through the power of the breath. With the breath as part of the animation. Inhale, gently rise. Good, relax your arms. Okay, we're gonna turn the right foot again, but we need to offset the left foot. The left toes are turned in more so that you can square the hips. The left arm is gonna lift up alongside the ear. And then you're gonna pour out over the right leg, setting the hand to a block, shin, or the ground. And the right arm is gonna fly upward. Feel the churning through your belly. And know that in Chinese medicine, they call the Sea of Qi, that inner ocean, 2 inches below the navel, 2 inches above the sternum. On your exhalation, lower the right hand down and just spill out over the right thigh. Again, the hands can be on blocks, your body, or the floor. Take your hands now up to your hips. Really pressurize the feet and then slowly lead with the back of your heart to come up. Awesome. When you rise, your feet will spin the other direction. So the left foot's going to turn all the way to the short edge of the mat. The right foot will offset. You'll rotate that back hip around to match up with your left. Good, the right arm is gonna lift overhead. And as you exhale, we're coming into revolving triangle first. So the right hand can come down to the floor, to the shin, to a block. Left arm reaches skyward. After several rounds of breath, lower the left arm down. Drape your head down. Intense side stretch your pyramid pose. And then pressurizing the feet, stacking the hands to the hips. Stretch out through the vertebrae and lead with the back side of your heart to slowly stand up. Good, now turn the feet so they're parallel with each other, facing the same direction. All right, lift the arms out shoulder height. And as you exhale, you're gonna come down and take your peace knees, or the first 2 fingers, around each big toe. And then angle the elbows away from your leg. Very similar to what we were experiencing with that King Cobra. Notice with the elbows flying out this way, it keeps the chest more open. Maybe put a little bit more emphasis on each and every out breath. Now slide your hands up to your hips or waist. Shine out through the crown of the head and slowly rise to stand. All right, we're gonna keep this wide stance between the feet. We're gonna rotate the right foot 90 degrees. Lunging that knee, propping onto that thigh bone, and taking that left arm up and all the way over the side of the face. Create a long linear line with that top arm. Glue that back foot down. Push back through your left thigh bone. Become a fountain of boundless energy and power. Feel the stamina and endurance. Inhale, gently come up. Arms reach out, right foot turns back in. Now take your hands to your waist. Shoulders roll back. Hinge forward again from your hips. Coming into this other variation of Prajurita Padottanasana. The elbows are going to keep flying up towards the ceiling, even though the face is lowering down. Soften the skin of the face. Soften your sensory organs, even your mouth and jaw. Inhale, slowly come up. Come out, rotate your left foot. Lunge that knee, prop onto the thigh. Right arm sails up and over the side of the face. Create that long linear line from your right heel to the right fingertips. Good, inhale, bring it slowly back up. We're doing one more Prajurita, so turn the feet so they're parallel or slightly pigeon-toed if that's better for your form. Good, when you're ready, you're bringing the hands down in between the feet. Squeezing the elbows towards each other. So the arms are kind of making a 90-degree angle. Slow, deep breathing. Slowly walk the hands out in front of you. Bring them back to your hips or waist. And slowly come up. All right, the left foot's gonna rotate out. And we're gonna step up to the front. You have to wiggle it out a little bit. Okay, this is where we come to our balancing poses. We're actually going to be doing a tree pose like we normally do, then I'm going to add a different one. So bend your right knee. Open from the hip. This may be your tree pose today. If you want to lift the foot higher, you can. Maybe to your calf, maybe to your inner thigh. Hands or arms could be in any creation. All right, so the second one we do, remember in the story, it was a wishing tree. So you're gonna make a wish internally to yourself in the next pose. So bend your left knee. Open from the hip. In the wishing tree, make your internal wish. Good, and release.
All right, so the one that we're gonna do today, to go back in with that story, this is Dancing Indian. It reminds me of Dancing Shiva. Think about how Shiva drank the poison. So we're gonna be standing on the left side. We're gonna have our hands in the Apana Mudra that represents grounding. It looks like this. Let me show you what it looks like. So we start here on the inhale, and it's a moving pose, and we're here on the exhale. And you can go back and forth as you breathe. I would only do it like 3 times. Or you may just want to hold the first position and move into the second position and be done. Okay? Yogi's choice. Stacking and standing on your left leg, grounding mudra with your hands. Right heel kicks up and open. This stance represents compassion and action. Ready? Holding at the top. Release. All right. Stack and stand on the right leg. On mudra. Left heel kicks up and down. Maybe you need to stay here, and that's fine too. Or flow. Holding. And
Yep. I lost it.